to Broad Coven that I plan on doing every month for you all. And it's just what's on deck read for that month. And we're going to look at the energies in play. We're going to do a little read for each individual sign. So you're all going to get some time. You're all going to get your, attention, and your specific messages for you. I will be putting timestamps too in these reads, so it's super easy for you to just go and check out the portions you want to see. And yeah, any other ideas you all have for things you would like to see on this channel or ways I can make the experience even more enjoyable for you, just let me know. You can drop me a comment. I'm always open to suggestions, and I just want you to really have a wonderful experience in your time here with me. And I thank you for coming to the channel, dropping in with me, and all your support. It really means a lot to me. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Hit the notification bell. I'm going to be bringing lots of stuff here, some of it real, and some of it real weird, always real, but some of it's a bit out there. I have some kind of unusual things I want to bring to the channel. But I also have a lot of, deep soulful stuff too. I'm a broad, okay? And I have a very broad kind of personality, meaning that I can't be pigeonholed, to just kind of one one way of being. I'm multifaceted, as we all are, and I choose not to suppress any of those sides of me. So I have a lot of playful energy that I want to bring in, a lot of cheeky stuff, some telenovela stuff. Sometimes I like to get trashy, and I know I got my people that like to see a little trashy now and then. So I'm just letting it all hang out. But with these What's on Deck reads, we're just going to see what comes through. Sometimes I might want to make it trashy, and sometimes I might want to make it more spiritually oriented. We'll just see. Tonight is the first time I'm doing this, and we're just going to let it fly, and we're going to go right into each individual sign. Okay. Um, yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. And do be aware that, even though we're looking at the individual signs, uh, we are still looking at a large collective. Okay. So not every message is necessarily going to apply to you. Okay. Look at the overarching themes that are coming and see how they fit and apply to your life by engaging your intuition. That's the best way to receive a reading. It's like, run it through your own, systems check. Where is it dinging for you? How does it resonate for you? That's where it applies. All right. But when you're reading for a collective and you're tapping into that energy, there's so many different possible scenarios, storylines, and what comes through is what needs to come through, meaning that there's somebody that needs to hear the message that's coming in. So if it ain't yours, it ain't yours. Um, and if it is, wonderful. I'm glad that you could get some support, guidance for what you need. And with the signs, this does apply anywhere you have a strong placement in your chart. So we're looking at sun, moon, rising, Venus, north node. I encourage you to tap into all those signs to get a real good feel for the energies in play for you over the month. We do got a pretty, important month coming in here. I mean, we're about to move into summer solstice. All right, we got Midsummer's Eve coming in. Um, the the apex of the light energy really growing. I've been getting for a while that summer is going to be lit. Like summer is when it all pops off, and I really feel in particular Leo season. I keep getting right as we get further into July, August, people are really going to see why they went through everything they went through, because people have been going through some stuff. I mean, we've been dealing with a lot of retrograde energy, right? We got like Mercury retrograde, we're just going to be coming out of, okay? And then we also got, the Pluto retrograde energy. We've been deep in Chiron and Aries, work where we're looking at the wounds of the self, So we've been doing some deep processing. We've been looking at different layers of ourselves. But There's really been this message that's been coming through very strongly for me for a while now, that it's so important that instead of focusing on the wound, instead of focusing on the pain, the trauma, what didn't go right, what disappointed you, it's really time to like look at where did the light get in? Like Rumi said, that the wound is where the light gets in. So where did the light get in? Like what was the gift that came forward in you? What kind of medicine did you get from those experiences you went through? How did they end up awakening something in you that couldn't have been possible before? And putting your attention there instead, you know? It's time to look at what you got out of it, how you grew from it. And that gift may not feel like much to some of you right now. That's what I just kind of had come in. But you'll see the value of it down the road. And there will come a point when you'll be so grateful for it, even if you can't see it right now. It's about having the willingness and the courage to just take the risk to trust, take the risk to trust that you're going to understand why things needed to go down exactly as they did. And you're not going to have to wait very long. Like I said, I really feel the energy is going to build in Leo's season. So let's just dive in, okay? I'm drinking some yogi tea. It's a detox tea. And there is a little message, they always have a fortune on them or a quote. And this says, the one who listens understands. Okay, so I think that that's an overarching theme for the collective as a whole, for all signs. I think we're really sort of doing a final closing of energy of the old cycle. We're about to move into a totally different timeline. It's very much that full energy front and center for everybody. It's like the collective totem right now is that full energy, that beginning starting point, and also beginner's mind. And what do we mean by beginner's mind? It means we drop our preconceived notions, we drop our ideas about how we think things are going to be, and we just have the willingness to sort of approach things with a fresh perspective and move into that expansive kind of Jupiter energy, where it's not just expansive, but it's also jovial, enthusiastic. And where we're moving forward with a spirit of adventure, we don't know what's up ahead, but we're just going to take the risk to trust that it's going to be fucking good, because why not? I mean, you have a choice where you choose to direct your energy. You can think it's going to be more of the same. You can sit and keep reflecting on your past. You can not clean the slate, okay? And you can just create more of the same buck shit if you want to. That's always an option. I mean, I don't recommend it. Or you can, take the risk to like be open and trust that there's something that's going to come to fill that space that was made in your life. And I do believe everybody's been going through some kind of letting go process. Sometimes it's just been letting go of a false identity or way of, looking at the world, your belief system. Some of you have been letting go of actual connections. You've been letting go of relationships. You've been letting go of old trauma. You've been letting go of baggage. You've been putting that shit down. I saw 9/11 on the clock as I was going into that. And it's like putting down that sense of high alert, that sense of emergency, like always feeling like you have to have everything under control because at any moment, the rug's going to get pulled out from under you. And thinking about how when you move through life in that way, it puts you in this position where you just are like, you're emanating, this frequency that encourages more of that same to be drawn to you. Just because, if you're moving through life all tense and guarded, like how do you expect life to interact with you? How do you expect other people to interact with you? What is that going to bring into your life? How are things going to turn around? But if you can approach life, just open and willing, and instead of feeling fearful, see if you can tap into like being excited instead. anxiousness and excitement, they're closely related. What gets in the way is like how the mind perceives it, what the mind says that physical sensation in the body is. So see if you can kind of like flip things around a little bit, collective. See if you can just be willing to trust that maybe life is actually working in my favor. And even though it was hard to let go of certain things, maybe if I would have stayed in those situations or things would have just, continued on as they were, I would really miss an incredible opportunity that's up ahead for me. And I really do feel like the good stuff's going to come in. It's sort of like we've been dealing with, this intense energy for a while. The astrology has been very intense, and I think a lot of it has involved, in some cases, getting our lashings, learning our lessons the hard way, right? Taking our medicine in cases where we needed to take our medicine. Uh, but I feel like we've had our feet held to the fire for a long time, and we really are moving into a period where we're going to get to the other side of that, collective, and we're going to start seeing the reward for the work, We're going to start seeing the reward for the work. The reward for the work, Page of Pentacles energy, Two of Wands. I see this is really about when we can focus on the reward that we got from doing that work, right? When we can focus on the ways we've grown or the insights we've gained or the new dimensions of ourselves we discovered. Maybe we discovered we had a lot more courage than we thought we did, right? Or maybe we discovered a part of ourselves that was more willing to like take a leap. Or maybe we understood our value more. And a myriad of different possibilities, okay, of what you could have gotten out of the difficult situations you've been through. But when you can understand the reward for the work, that's when you really move in partnership with spirit. That's when you move in partnership with spirit. And you get the courage to take the actions that you need to take because you're more tapped in. You're more tapped into that direct line, with your intuition that's connected to your Atman, your higher consciousness, God, goddess, however you choose to relate to it. There is no wrong way. And that's just a big thing I want to bring into here at Broad Coven. I really believe that how anybody connects spiritually is beautiful. And it's their path. And it's how they're meant to express it. It's how they're meant to connect with their higher consciousness. It's how they're meant to move through their lessons and integrate them. And nobody can say that somebody's way is wrong just because you don't understand it. I think this is very important to just respect that we all have different ways of feeling that connection with spirit, and no way is wrong. No way is wrong. It's just maybe different, different from what you're used to. So, yeah, I feel like that's what this is really about. It's about moving away from just sort of the harshness of what you've been through and the bitterness of what you've been through, collective, to instead moving into what you got out of that work. Because there is some reward that you got out of it. And if you don't know what that reward is, maybe shift your focus away from continuing to regurgitate the story of what you've been through and the pain and all the bullshit that's attached to that. And instead start really ruminating on, yeah, but what did I get out of it? How have I changed? What couldn't have happened any other way? And then you're going to discover the magic in that and the way that it really connects you to spirit and the source that feeds you in a very empowering way, right? Very empowering way. And I just want to do a cut of the deck energy on that before we start diving into the individual signs. Yeah, be aware of how you sabotage yourselves with this Seven of Swords energy. Don't you realize it's a way for you to continue to stay plain small when you choose to just focus on the pain you've been through in the past, or the ways that you felt victimized, or your traumas? And I mean, every time you sit and you ruminate on this, and believe me, I understand. I'm somebody who has a deep trauma history. Okay. We all have trauma. Everybody has some kind of trauma, some kind of emotional burden they carry. Okay. But you can only tell that story so many times. And you're not there anymore. And nothing can take it back. And how many times do you want to tell the story? How many times do you want to tell the story? Because every time you tell the story, it's like you bind yourself to that moment in time when you felt your weakest. And how do you expect to step into your strength if you stay there? You can't. You can't. At some point, you have to just let that go. You have to let it go. And the way you let it go is by connecting with how the light got through. Because if you continue to stay in that place, it's like I was talking about. You're going to move through life guarded, blocked off, thinking that somebody's always going to screw you over, or something's always going to go wrong, or any moment the other shoe's going to drop. And it doesn't allow you to really move in the flow of your life because you're trying to control too much. Then life becomes artificial. And what you achieve, you know, the actual state of your material reality is not going to be fulfilling for you. It's going to be difficult. So just try to focus, just that little shift of focus, instead of looking at what you've been through and telling your story and feeling the need to tell it over and over again. And I mean, I understand it's important to hold space for that initially in any healing process. It's important to honor your shadow. It's important to get in touch with your anger, your grief, your sense of loss, feel all your emotions. But I'm talking about when it's become like a broken record and you've been singing the same old song and doing the same old fucking dance for fucking years now. It's time to cut the cord. And I really feel like this is what these last few weeks before we hit summer solstice, and we actually move into that summer season when the light is going to start to really come in, and you're going to see all the sweetness that comes to fruition because of that. It's really time to cut the cords with these things that you've been dragging around with you. It's really important to make peace within yourself. It's very important to have a sense of closure and to not look to another person to give you that closure. Said what I said. To be able to make peace with it within yourself. And in making peace within yourself, not only do you free yourself, you untether yourself from that situation, that person, that pain, but you also do the same for the individual on the other end. You free up the energy. Okay. So important. And then you can be like that clear channel, what's meant to come through for you, what's meant to guide you moving forward, and come on forward. 1919 on the clock when I said that. Okay. That's double tens, baby. Okay. It's like, this is what we're meant to be doing right now. Closing the old cycle, you know, so we can have that new beginning, right? That new beginning with that one energy. And zero is all about gifts, gifts that come from spirit, you know, from a job well done, from completing a cycle. Okay, well, here's the gifts on offer in this new cycle. Be ready to step into them. But you can't step into them if you're dragging your feet because you're still reflecting on what happened. It's like, okay, that happened. And what are you going to do about it? And I'm not being callous. The reason why I'm talking like this is I'm somebody who's been through some pretty fucking gnarly shit in this life. And I'm not going to go into my story because I don't feel like a fucking victim. You know, I don't. It was like What happened to me in my life fair? No. But I did get to the point where I really realized, wow, I see what it awakened in me. I see the sense of purpose it gave me. I see the strength it gave me. And there was a day that came where I was like, bless all those things that I went through. I wouldn't have it any other way. And if people knew everything that I've been through, they probably think that was pretty crazy. But it's about really, again, focusing on that light, okay? Focusing on that light as you move forward. It's time to shift the focus. And with that, we're going to dive right in and we're going to look at what is coming in for Aries collective. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. What's on deck for Aries collective in this month of June? What's coming in for Aries collective in this month of June? What energies are in play for Aries collective in this month of June? What's coming in for Aries collective in this month of June? I feel like Aries is like the horse at the starting gate, like just chomping at the bit, ready to go. That first card really flew out very quickly there, you know? And it's funny, it's the only one that came out. So let's see. You know, Aries can be very direct, straight to the point, and this came out quickly. Oh, we see here the sun energy, okay? So what a beautiful card to come through for Aries. This is all about happiness. This is all about feeling that, you know, that sense of lightness that we were talking about, that lightness of being, you know, being willing to open up to the light, let the light back in again. I just heard that song from the Flintstones, you know, with Pebbles and Bam Bam, where they're like, let the sun shine in, let it with a grin. Winners never lose and losers never win. I kind of feel like it's that kind of energy. Like, you know, just welcoming in a sense of carefree sort of attitude. You know, this is also speaks of like success, so I feel like there's some reason to celebrate, you know. I feel like a lot of you might be doing some travel to some more kind of sunny climates, you know, wanting to just get in touch with nature. But there's also really this energy, this carefree energy, this playfulness, and getting in touch with sort of like a youthful spirit. Like I feel like you're kind of shaking off the cobwebs, Aries. It's been sort of like a lot of heaviness. I feel like there's been a lot of heaviness. And I also feel that in the area of responsibility for you all, that you've really had a lot of like pressure on you, a lot of weight on your shoulders. And I feel like emotionally burdened too. You know, I think there's been a lot that you've been integrating, there's a lot you've been processing, and this is some really beautiful, positive energy coming in. I definitely see that there's going to be growth, you know, there's going to be a lot of growth that comes into your life through all this work that you've been doing. And I don't just mean that on the level of the inner work or, you know, the spiritual work or, you know, just processing what you've been through, but I also mean materially, like the work that you have been doing and investing on the job, the extra schooling you've been doing, the programs you've been enrolled in, you know, the efforts you've been making, like they're really going to pay off and they're going to lead to a time of abundance for you. And I think this is really going to dawn on you in Leo season. You know, this major arcana, the sun, is associated with the sign of Leo. Okay, so also could be, you know, a Leo could figure prominently in this situation too. Maybe there's some kind of happiness around a Leo or something that is getting you excited that involves a Leo and is giving you this feeling of sort of like this youthful spirit and kind of a carefree attitude. But it could also just be that you're stepping into that Leo energy. Maybe you're feeling more confident about yourself. I just got this message came through that some of you will really be going through a glow up in June. Like you're going to be paying more attention to your appearance. You might start a new health regimen. You might be working out. Maybe you hadn't been working out for a while. You're going to get back to training, really kind of cleaning up the diet, eating more fresh foods. I see like more produce, more salads, more smoothies, more fruit, just cleansing just with juice, doing more juicing, things of this nature, just heading more in a light, fresh direction, more seafood, things like this, and I think you're going to get a lot of energy from that. I also just got like really up like your nuts, your seeds, your mono unsaturated fats. I got a little bit of my Ayurvedic practitioner is coming in, but I feel like you're moving into kind of more of a light, fresh way of eating. And that's also going to enlighten your energy because I think there's been some physical heaviness. I got Ted here, the German Shepherd, and oh, are you wanting to say hi? Maybe, take the dog out for some walk. I'm going to let him out. He's needing to go to the bathroom. This is typical for Ted. He often has to interrupt the recordings. He needs to have his time, he wants to have his airtime. But yeah, I see you making some changes and as you physically lighten up, it also like enlightens you emotionally and it gives you the confidence to kind of put yourself out there more. And I believe that that's going to lead you all to, some fun social experiences. Like I said, I think you're going to be getting out and about. I see you doing a lot of kind of like more short road trips, maybe going kind of in areas, not too far from you, but that you've always wanted to explore, but you just never found the time to, and just kind of going around checking things out and having a good time, and it's a really beautiful energy to come in. Yeah, I see that you're moving out of a cycle where you really felt just, sort of dejected, and really felt like I'm really getting what's coming here in for me through this is like a dark night of the soul. I feel like you really have felt disconnected within yourself, and I feel like you've been doing a lot of soul searching. And there's probably been some kind of loss, a loss of somebody's, connection in your life that you've probably been taking a bit hard, um, doing some integration around this. I think you've been doing some shadow work, around relationship. I think you've been doing some shadow work around some people that aren't in your life anymore, and that's been kind of intense for you, and we do see that there is a Queen of Cups here in the main frame, and this is water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And that can be any placement. So we're looking at Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node. But don't get too attached to the sign. It just helps you understand how the energy expresses itself with this player on the board, because this is a person involved in your situation. Queen of Cups usually is somebody who's very intuitive. They're in touch with their emotions. There's somebody who wants to give emotionally. They're able to give emotionally. And they're ready to receive emotionally too. So I see this as like, and somebody who has their eyes on you, somebody who's ready to receive love. But we also see that they're very much focused on standing their ground. They know what they want. They're not willing to compromise, and maybe there's a lot of diverging opinions, and maybe there's a lot of suitors. That's what I'm seeing here. There is this like wand energy waving at them. So this Queen of Cups may have a lot of knights, kind of coming her way who just, this like fuck boy energy. And are just looking for, a fun night, but that's not what this, that's not what this Queen of Cups wants. We see that, she's got a little bit of protectiveness going on now, blocking her heart center here. And she's rising above this shit. She's not interested in that. It looks like she deaded that out right there, okay? With this death energy. All right. And pick what side you're on, okay? You know what side you're on. If you're the person that feels this way, or if this is somebody that's feeling this way about you, but we do see that an ending came in this situation. I think that's why you went through a dark night of the soul. I think this individual really caused you to look at some of your shadow aspects that you hadn't really dived into before. Maybe you were more used to looking at what was going on with the other person, or maybe putting the blame there. And it gave you an opportunity to kind of go real deep in yourself and look at some ways that you actually sabotage yourself, or that you contributed to an unhealthy dynamic. So I think this was important for this to happen. We do see there was closure that came here, but we also see that this opens up a brand new direction. This is Aquarius energy here with the Fool, okay? And you're about to set off in a whole new adventure, brand new cycle. All right. Top of the deck energy. Yeah. King of Swords. You had to cut something off. Again, you might have been dealing with a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. Okay. But we see that, and I take this as, I think this is the person here, this Queen of Cups, might have had to sort of move into the masculine energy a bit, become very decisive, make a decision to cut something off because it wasn't in alignment with their values. Yeah, it looks like they're waiting for a King of Pentacles energy here. That's Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy. All right. And we do see a king will come forward. They know that whoever this person is, they know that somebody will really show up and build with them and make a genuine offer. Okay, that's what the King of Pentacles does. Cut of the deck energy. So this is the title card for this Paulina tarot deck. And I always take this card to be about writing your own story. Like that's what I'm getting here. I believe with that full energy coming in for you, Aries collective, you have a choice right now. You have a choice about what you want to create moving forward. You're at that zero starting point. So what do you want your life to be? And it's about being really clear, being really honest with yourself, and taking that inventory of where you've been, where you don't want to be again in the future, and maybe making some different choices this time. It looks like there's a lot of love stuff that's coming up, and there could be this desire, really to sort of set aside like all the side dishes is like the energy that I'm getting. It's like you want the main course, you're beginning to realize that that's not really fulfilling, and you really want somebody that you can build with, um, which is a lot for the King of Wands, okay? Coming up in your own reading real strong. That's you, Aries, right there, This in particular to Aries men may speak really strongly, when it comes to the Aries energy, that King of Wands energy, you know, they can do just fine being on their own, not being attached to anybody, and just sort of doing their own thing. If they ever do decide to enter into any kind of commitment, they do it by choice, and they do it because that's what they're motivated to do, but they don't need, somebody else. It's about that desire to have somebody to share with. So, I think maybe some of you Aries men, you might choose to just stay on your own. That's what I'm really getting. But I don't know. It's interesting. I think there's a part of you that's fighting it. Yeah, I think this is your Tower, Aries men. We got, the King of Wands, that's you. And what follows it is the Ten of Pentacles, which is all about financial wealth, abundance, uh, happy home. Usually is also about, building with another, building with another. We do see a Wheel of Fortune, a change. And after that is conflict and a tower, okay? Five of Wands energy. I believe that this is saying that, you know, there's something stirring in you. I believe this is really speaking to the Aries men, okay? There is something stirring in you where you're realizing that you kind of told yourself that you just want to do your own thing. I don't need anybody. You've been in this mode for so long. And this may also speak to women too, women who are really running their masculine energy. Okay, don't get too stuck on the gender terms I bring in. Okay, I just bring the message as it comes in, but you apply it as it fits for you. But I think you're kind of realizing, like, you know what? Maybe my views are shifting. I think you're having, and I think it's bringing up a little conflict inside of you that you're realizing, no, I really do want somebody by my side. I do want that. I don't want to be a player no more. That's kind of like that energy that's coming forward. I think it's been a real sort of battle though, internally, because I think you've really like become attached to this identity of being the player, right? But I think that tower is going to fall. I think that, there's probably going to be some upheaval, something that comes about where, like, for some of you, I'm just going to put it straight up out there. Some of you, you're going to realize, like, the side effect of the hoe life. Like what happens when you do just have lots of casual connections? What happens when you just, don't go deep with anybody and you just kind of fuck around and, just live for the moment, spontaneity. And I just I'm gonna bring it through real, I'm gonna bring it through raw. Some of you also might not have been properly protecting yourself, and maybe connecting with people that shouldn't have access to you in that way. And there's a lot that gets taken on with that. And sometimes it manifests physically, you can catch some shit. There can be repercussions for that. You can get pregnant, and maybe that's not what you're looking to have happen. Like, you know, and then there's the whole energetic piece, the sexually transmitted demons, like that energy you take on from other people, just be aware. And I think you've thought about this a lot. I think you've been thinking about, is it really fulfilling you? Like, you've been invested in this identity, you've been invested in this, like, I can kind of do whatever I want, and I'm a free agent, and I can see this person and this person and this person. But at the end of the day, like, is it really fulfilling you? Is that really what you want? And I think you're really getting in touch with your deeper needs and your deeper desires. And it's kind of rocking your world a little bit. It's rocking your world a little bit. And maybe it has something to do with this person, that you've been struggling through your shadow work with. Maybe that opened up. Maybe that's how the light got in for you. Okay. It's waking you up to something. But I feel like you've got a lot of happiness, a lot of success coming in. So in general, it looks good. You just know what you gotta close out there, Aries. Okay. Gave you quite a bit of time there. I don't know. I might have to do um, multiple videos because I am limited. I am limited to I think like an hour I can record on my StreamYard, and then I have to start a new video. But I can do that. It's okay. I want to just go ahead and work on this over the next day or two and get all these out so you all get a read. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to just try to get as many of them in, at the same time as possible. I'm not one of those people who can just do like a little short brief read. I don't know what it is. I have too much I want to bring through. Okay. So this is for Taurus Collective. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus in North Node. What's on deck for Taurus in the month of June? That flipped right over. Well, something has been decided. Got a judgment right there. Looks like you're off the market. I just saw your options turned in reverse there, okay? Ooh, this, yep, yep, yep. Okay, here's the deal, Taurus. I feel like you have had a lot of options. I always have trouble with it. What, Ted? Yes, Taurus has had a lot of options. He says yes. You've had a lot of dogs hounding you. Taurus has had a lot of dogs hounding you, but these options with this 7 of Cups in reverse, they were empty. They came forward, they offered you this shit, that it sounded real good, but in the end it was all just fantasy. There was nothing there. I feel like there's been a lot of disillusionment from having these options around you. I also think that, you might not have always moved in the best way in regard to these options. There's something that's like moving out of integrity with this 7 of Cups. And whether that's you were lying to yourself about all these other options, or you were dealing with a bunch of liars who were like kind of wearing a false face with you, or whether there was deception in the situation where there was so many multiple parties involved, and you were just kind of like relegated to a side piece situation, or you were putting other people in that side piece position. Something about this situation was fucked up. It wasn't right. We see that judgment came in with this, okay? And something was turned down, okay? Something that you thought you were going to move forward with, okay? No action, no dice, didn't happen. You thought there was going to be growth with this 7 of Pentacles, but there wasn't. I also see this as like, what you thought was going to be some big dick energy went, oh. It went a bit limp on you. So that didn't really turn out the way you thought it would. This is sort of like, I see it as a situation of kind of like getting kind of gassed up, like somebody really filling your head with a bunch of shit. You bought into it. You thought it was really going to lead to something, and then it ended up being a big fat disappointment. And this thing went nowhere, and that's the judgment on that. So let's look at the basis of the matter here. There is a Queen of Swords, connected to this situation. Now, this could be you. You could have gone very cold in this situation. You said, I'm cutting this shit off because I'm not feeling this. I'm not liking how this is going. And you kind of went cold emotionally, sort of shut down emotionally, maybe to one person in particular. It looks like there is one direction in particular that you really thought was going to pan out. Right now, the only cups I see on the board are the 7 of Cups, and that's with that, we're looking at, options, side pieces, flirtations, maybe sliding into somebody's DM, you know what I mean? Maybe texting back and forth, doing a bit of sexting, all right? But I see like somebody out of that pool of people you thought there would be more growth with, and it ended up going nowhere. Maybe there was a plan of action that was supposed to happen, got dropped last minute, didn't go through. And I think this made you kind of cold, and you cut that energy off. You decided, no, this is bullshit and I'm not buying into this. You probably spoke some truth. It probably came out pretty harsh, but it was direct and it was tough love, and it's what was needed in the situation. This is also associated with the air signs, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Okay, so there may be one of those signs involved in your situation. Yeah, we see. I think you thought something was going to move forward. Okay, I feel like you were thinking you were going to go on a trip with somebody. This is what I'm getting. You thought you were going to go on a trip with somebody. You're going to go somewhere with them. I think that this was secret. We see this Seven of Swords energy attached to this. This means sneaking around, okay? This is kind of like a sneaky energy, like I'm going to see what I can get away with. We see there was a lot of anxiety around this too with the Nine of Swords energy. Yeah, and I'm not sure where this energy was coming from. You got to pick what side you're on. It could be the person you were dealing with was being sneaky. They were doing something behind someone's back. They were being deceptive with you. It could be that you were sneaking around, you know, it could be that you both were, you know, but there's definitely sneaking around deception in this situation. I believe that there was plans to go on a trip with each other, with some person where there had to be sneaking around. So I'm getting third party element with this situation. And we see that you cut this energy off. I believe that's what this Queen of Swords is speaking to. You went cold to the situation and you cut this situation off. And you doing this was a wise choice. You know, it brings you victory. It brings you, to a place of success. It's almost like this situation was blocking your success, holding on to this dynamic, tolerating these kind of dynamics, and accepting these kind of clandestine arrangements. It really was not doing you any favors. Yeah, we do see, you know, with the Three of Pentacles here, this is third party energy to me. This is like multiple parties working together. This could also be seen, I'm going to also apply it another way too, outside of love. This could be that you were in a business situation and you know, maybe you were getting involved in a business project with somebody. Maybe you had a few offers on the table. You thought one of them was really going to be good, or you thought partnering with a certain individual on a business project was going to be a really beneficial situation. It was going to lead to some real solid opportunities, but it ended up going south. It didn't go anywhere. You found out that the person was kind of being sneaky. Maybe the person even, you know, kind of ran off with some of your ideas, maybe they ran off with some of your concepts. I feel like you were dealing with a difficult person, and it had you feeling really conflicted. You didn't know if you should stay or if you should go in this situation, but I think your inevitable decision was to, cut that situation off. So whether you're looking at a business situation or whether you're looking at a romantic situation, there was options on the table, and you invested your energy in some of those options and they didn't pan out the way you thought. And I feel like there was one in particular that really had like a oof, it left a bad taste in your mouth, because you sure spoke some harsh truth and you cut it off cold. But this was a wise choice, because in a business capacity, this is what leads to your success. You're actually going to come together with other people that are more aligned with you, and what you want to build, what you want to create. And I see the start of like a new business project, a new enterprise. Yeah. And I do see travel, coming in. I think there will be forward motion and travel. And I just, you know what? I just got this. What do we got here? Yeah, there's some interesting energy here. Okay. So I don't know. You could have been dealing with an Aries, because we do have the Emperor card here that is associated with Aries energy, but it can be any strong masculine figure. Oh, yeah. I think the plans to travel was with an Emperor, so strong figure, because it's giving me more of the story here. We have the Eight of Wands, okay, which is all about travel, and there's butterflies behind her. And so this is like speaking of, there was this desire for travel, and that it was supposed to be like this transformational point in the connection. You thought it was going to be your 10 of Cups energy, right? But with this Emperor that you were planning on doing this with, is associated with Aries, but can be any strong, masculine energy. It is in the upright, so it's a balanced energy. It's not out of balance, okay? This Emperor energy is not Emperor reverse, so this would be a strong masculine, energy. Who's on his ship? On his ship, okay? But we see it came to an end with this Ten of Swords. That got shut down. And this is what landed on the floor that I was going to show you. So this is the element that, isn't seen, is this Page of Swords energy. Page of Swords energy is fishing for information, sneaking around. A lot of times I feel like this is a social media card. So I feel like there's a part of you that doesn't understand why. Why was this so abruptly brought to an end? Why did the energy so quickly shift? And I feel like you've been doing a lot of like fishing for information, looking for information. You might have even sent some messages. There might even be some communication kind of going back and forth. This might even come in June, like maybe a second go around. Now that we got this Mercury retrograde energy moving forward, this might be revisited again. But I see that even if it does come back around the bend and it makes you feel hopeful, it'll end up the same. Ten of Swords, Page of Swords. There's sneakiness going on here. You don't know everything in that situation. So that again, that applies an Emperor absolutely. With this Ten of Cups here, I feel this is more romantic interest. I feel this is speaking more to the romantic storyline. But you could see that in a work capacity, if you did leave a business situation, maybe you thought that a business project was going to be really fulfilling, really rewarding. It was going to be a point of success. I would see it would be more like a business partnership kind of energy, something you were growing with another person. And this could definitely be a boss energy, somebody who kind of held the financial strings, in this business situation. This might come back on the table, or there might be somebody, I just got this, somebody from your past coming around under the guise of wanting to work with you professionally, but really it's not about that. It's that, they have this sort of like romantic motivation. They want to connect romantically. This may be what you can't see, okay? With that Page of Swords energy, there's an ulterior motive. But either way, I see like this cycle has come to an end. It's closed. And it will close. And why has it closed? Like, what is coming in for Taurus in June? Oh, your true Nine of Cups. So it's sort of like this situation that you were dealing with, where it looks like there was heartbreak because we got a Queen of Swords energy here. There was a lack of growth. There was a lack of action, a lack of follow through. There was deception. There was sneaking around. There was shadiness. There's third party influence. There's a lot of fuck shit energy, drama energy, like icky energy here. Whatever you were dealing with, whether it was romantically or business, I feel like this is speaking romantically for most people. And with Ted here invading your reading like this and wanting so much attention, I really feel like there's one dog that's just hounding you and will not leave you alone. He's not taking no for an answer. He's like, please let me out of the doghouse. But you just need to tell him, eat the Skippy, okay? Eat the Skippy, because you have true wish fulfillment. It's like deading this led to your true wish fulfillment. Yeah, because I see you're moving forward. Your ships are coming in with this King of Cups energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. Okay. And this is somebody who's emotionally available. They're ready and they have a cup of love to offer you, and you're going to take it. So, definitely more of a love read, came front and center for Taurus there. Um, and I feel like you could stretch it and apply it to business. I like to give, a couple different ways of viewing a situation. You could also view it as this could be a situation in your social circle as well. But I'm picking up strong love vibes. It feels like romantic to me, and I just have to call it the way I see it. And I see that I'm at 56 minutes here, 12 seconds. I think I'm only going to get through 2 of these. I'm going to have to do so many videos. I didn't expect to go so long with this, but it is what it is. What can I say? I think that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wrap up this particular one because I don't want to cut off Gemini midway. That's just not fair. Okay. And I will be back with a part 2 for all of you. All right. I'll see you soon.